Let's do noodles. I've taught you some noodles, haven't I?
You have.
Noodles are great for register break work. They're great for moving around the instrument with the greatest of ease with an even sound. And there's so many variations of noodles. Let's just start with the basic noodle. Could you please show us how I've taught it to you?
Uh-huh.
Very good job on the noodles. You're doing extremely well moving through that middle register break with the greatest of ease. I want to applaud you for how long you can go without taking a breath. It's pretty impressive. I also was very, very pleased that when you did choose to breathe, you kept time. And you were very diligent about keeping the mouthpiece on your face and breathing through your nose so that the set remained consistent. So, good work.
Thanks.
There are variations to the noodles. There's so many. And there's one in particular that I'm quite fond of that involves going back and forth between slurred and tongue. And the thing that I really want to emphasize about tonguing is that tonguing requires the same air that you would use for slurred notes. So it's often very helpful to practice tongued passages slurred to make sure that the air is moving and that you're using good support. So one of the variations for noodles, which is variation 1 on our printout sheet, goes like this. Got it?
Yeah. Hey, Julie, what's your tongue doing when you're playing that?
You mean, where is it in my mouth?
Yeah, where's the tip of your tongue?
If I were to pronounce the syllable tss, 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 try that. Where's the tip of your tongue when you do that?
It's where my teeth meet my gums.
Exactly. Let's call that the sweet spot.
Okay.
I pretty much like to tongue there for just about everything.
Mm-hmm. So the tongue doesn't move up or down as you change register?
Not for me.
Okay.
Now, I know there's a lot of schools of thought, and I can't say that one is right or wrong. But if you're asking me, Julie Landsman, this is where I put my tongue. And in fact, it's something that Carmine taught me.
Okay.
He used to say pronounce TS. Tss, tss, tss. He even did something very, very cute in lessons. He would demonstrate tonguing by going, so it was just like a little flick on the airstream, not a big movement and not a movement that moved a lot in your mouth. It stays pretty consistent in its location. And I find that that gives a consistency of sound throughout all the registers. And how many times do I need to emphasize how important that is to me as a horn player? The consistency of sound throughout all the registers, whether you're slurring or tonguing or playing loud or playing soft. I hold that in very high regard. And I know that a lot of my students who win auditions do so because of the refinement in their playing. And this consistency of articulation and sound equals refinement. Good question.
Thanks, Julie.
This is an awesome one if you really want to iron out a place in your chops that just doesn't feel right. This way you kind of excavate and really push into it. This is not a dynamic or a style that I would necessarily recommend in musical playing, but since the Carmine exercises are calisthenics to prepare your body to play music, this is a very specifically approached exercise where you're going to go a little beyond the attractive. I'm going to do the pop-out noodle variation first slurred, and then I'm going to do it tongued. Get the idea?
I understand.
So if that middle C for you is a little squirrely, this will put it in place. Give it a try, Alex.
Am I slurring or tonguing?
You're going to slur. Do it the basic noodle first. Now that middle C is going to feel like a breeze. You've really knocked it into place, so to speak. Mm-hmm. Now with the pop-out noodle, there's also a tongue version, the same variation that we offered on the basic noodle. Would you like to try?
Yeah.
So just nail it.
Okay.
I want to talk to you a little bit about how you're tonguing right now. Mm-hmm. I noticed a lot of chest action.
Yeah.
Could you make sure that you're well grounded so that your belly button is more to your spine when you tongue? Just take a look. See if there's any chest bouncing when I do this.
You seem very stable.
Yeah, and it's stable down here in your support system.
Okay.
So a short tongue doesn't necessarily mean that the upper body gets involved. Keep the same air. Alex, one thing I'm noticing is that you're not using the same air when you slur as when you tongue.
Oh.
Your support is much better now, but now you're just picking the air off incrementally. Could you pretend you're slurring when you tongue?
Sure.
One more time, please. There you go. More air. There it is. Air. Question. When you go back and forth and I scream air at you, what do you do when you correct it? Because half of them are right and half of them are very picky.
I'm checking in with my belly button.
Okay.
I feel like when I'm doing it right, my belly button is pressing towards my spine.
Well, then let's get back to the question of how do I support? Exactly that way. You and I have both had the privilege of studying the Alexander technique, specifically with Laurie Schiff.
That's right.
Awesome teacher. She's helped us both a lot with our support. And the ideal support I have found at this point in my career is with the belly button pressing toward the spine. And so you're saying when you correct what I'm calling pecky, not well air-driven tonguing, you're going down to your belly button. I almost feel like there's a trampoline down there that the tongue can actually bounce off of. Or if you think about a ping pong paddle with a very short string on the ball so that it stays really, really close, but there's that paddle is your support system.
That's good to know. Thanks, Julie.
Good point, and there's a lot of schools out there about how to support. I think there's many ways to do it. This is the way I like doing it. This is the way I teach it. This is the way you've learned it.
That's
So
right.
thank you for asking.